And there's a story that came out over the weekend that got all sorts of press, and I'm not really sure why. Yeah, let me correct. I have a very strong feeling why, but I don't think it's the reason that a lot of other people are saying. So there's a story that came out from the UK Guardian about Cambridge Analytica. Cambridge Analytica was the data firm that President Trump was using during his election. It's also been used by the Heritage Foundation. Originally, I believe it was used by the Cruz campaign. And the idea was that they were nefariously gathering data from Facebook. So it's a very long article by a woman named Carol Cadwallader. And it's about a guy named Christopher Wiley, who is who's an openly gay guy who worked with Steve Bannon and I guess maybe Milo Yiannopoulos. He said that he described a tool on Facebook called Steve Bannon's Psychological Warfare Mind F tool. Okay, now, as you know, I am no fan of Steve Bannon's. I think Steve Bannon is one of the worst persons I have ever met in my life. I think he's one of the worst people ever. I think Steve is garbage. But this story does not hold up to scrutiny. This story basically alleges that there is some sort of evil, nefarious corruption going on inside the Trump campaign with regard to data operations. So again, the UK Guardian is reporting that in 2014, Steve Bannon was Wiley's boss. Okay, the guy who we're talking about here is a guy named Christopher Wiley, who is a pink-haired guy. I mean, this is part of the article. He's a pink-haired guy who was apparently some sort of computer genius. Okay, and Robert Mercer was the guy who was funding Cambridge Analytica. The idea they bought into was to bring big data and social media to an established military methodology, information operations, then turn it on the U.S. electorate. It was Wiley who came up with that idea and oversaw its realization. It was Wiley who became the source for the UK Guardian. And here's what it basically says. Apparently, he ended up showing the author a tranche of documents that laid out secret workings behind Cambridge Analytica. In the months following publication, it was revealed that the company had reached out to WikiLeaks to help distribute Hillary Clinton's stolen emails in 2016, and then we watched as it became subject to a special counsel investigation into possible Russian collusion in the U.S. election. The Observer also received the first of 3 letters from Cambridge Analytica threatening to sue Guardian News and Media for defamation. We are still only just starting to understand the maelstrom of forces that came together to create the conditions for what Mueller confirmed last month was information warfare. But Wiley offers a unique worm's eye view of the events of 2016, of how Facebook was hijacked, repurposed to become a theater of war, how it became a launch pad for what seems to be an extraordinary attack on the U.S.'s democratic process. Okay, so what exactly is that extraordinary attack? He says that they broke Facebook. What exactly did they do? Well, apparently they sent out a couple of links on Facebook that allowed them to gather information. That's pretty much it. Apparently, all they really did, I mean, they bury the lead all the way down in this story. You know, in the middle of this long biography of who this guy is. But essentially, all they did was they put out things like IQ tests and personality quizzes that give you access to somebody's Facebook, right? You've had these before. Somebody will send you to a site and it'll say, take this personality quiz. And it'll say, do you want to access this personality quiz through Facebook? So you say yes. Right? Well, now they have access to the information on your profile. That's not illegal. You consented to it. It's not a big deal. That's all Cambridge Analytica did. They put out some of these quizzes, they gathered all the information, and then they had all this profile information of people that wasn't political information per se, but it was personality information, and personality gauges pretty highly with politics. It tracks pretty highly with politics. There are a bunch of studies that suggest that if you like certain types of food or if you like certain types of music, that that's likely to mean that you are of a particular political party, for example. So Christopher Wiley is one of the guys who was designing all of this. So in 2013, Wiley met Steve Bannon, and he apparently said that Bannon got it immediately. And so he decided to pitch the Mercers on making Cambridge Analytica the nexus for doing all of this stuff. Right? Cambridge Analytica would be the great cyber warfare nexus. So Robert Mercer was going to pour millions of dollars. They flew to New York to meet the Mercers in Rebecca's Manhattan apartment. And Wiley said she loved me. She was like, oh, we need more of your type on our side. Your type, the gays. She loved the gays. So did Steve. He saw us as early adopters. He figured if you can get the gays on board, everyone else will follow. It's why he was into the whole Milo thing. So Robert Mercer was very into it. So what did Wiley do? So apparently what Wiley did was he executed a contract with SCL, which is the parent company of Cambridge Analytica, which shows they were in a commercial agreement with a company called Global Science Research, owned by Cambridge-based academic Alexander Kogan, specifically premised on the harvesting and processing of Facebook data so that it could be matched to personality traits and voter rolls. Cambridge Analytica spent $7 million to amass the data, about $1 million of it with the Global Research Center. Okay, Global Science Research. He has the bank records and wire transfers. Emails reveal Wiley first negotiated with Mikhail Kaczynski, one of the co-authors of the original My Personality research paper, to use the My Personality database. And then they replicated the information in that database and then they built up a store of data. Now, what exactly? Apparently, they collected millions of profiles in a matter of weeks. Okay, but none of this is illegal. Okay, there's nothing here that's illegal. Now, as soon as Wiley reported this, Facebook immediately suspended him. So here's the real question. Why are the media covering this? I'm not seeing anything here that says to me something deeply nefarious and horrible went on. It looks like data gathering that was done by the Obama camp, I'm sure, in 2012 and in 2008. This was playing catch up on the right for all the data banking that had been done on the left. One of the big criticisms of the Romney campaign in 2012 is that their information system was so bad, that their data analytics were so weak. And so Trump was trying to fight that, and Bannon was trying to fight that, which seems to me a smart thing to do, not an illegal thing to do. So why exactly is everybody focusing on this? I'll tell you. The answer that everybody is focusing in on non-illegal behavior by Cambridge Analytica is because they don't want to pressure Cambridge Analytica. They want to pressure Facebook. And they want to pressure Facebook, and they want to pressure YouTube, and they want to pressure Google, and they want to pressure Twitter. There's a massive attack on conservatives going on right now in social media. Facebook's traffic, they've used their new algorithm to target people on the right who are open about their right-wing views. If you are a quote-unquote objective site, then they have not targeted you in the same way. There was a study that came out last week demonstrating that major sites, I'm talking about everybody from Breitbart to Daily Wire, has been targeted by Facebook, and that our traffic has dropped pretty precipitously for all of those sites, right? Daily Caller, The Blaze, all of these, every single right-wing site saw a major hit in traffic since Facebook instituted its new algorithm. Want to know what didn't see a major drop in traffic? You want to know what didn't see any drop in traffic, essentially? The folks on the left. They saw virtually no drop in traffic whatsoever, which is not surprising. Why would they see a drop in traffic? After all, Facebook is a left-wing outlet. And the goal here is to pressure Facebook, right? Dianne Feinstein's been pressuring Facebook. And now the media are going to say Cambridge Analytica used Facebook. They better crack down on these right-wingers. These right-wingers who are doing data mining, they better find a way to crack down. That's what this is all about. It's about militarizing Google and Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. It's why Louis Farrakhan is still being recommended as a follow for a lot of people, including me, right? I'll be, because I've tweeted about Louis Farrakhan, it will recommend that I follow Louis Farrakhan. He's not been suspended from Twitter. But you know who was suspended from Twitter? Steven Crowder for a week. Okay, all of these algorithms are being built by left-wingers, and whether they know it or not, they are biased against right-wingers, and it is really gross, and pretty soon there's going to be no choice but for people on the right to build their own fora for distribution of material if this continues, because it truly is an insane thing.